Hello and happy Sunday. It is June 30th, last day of June 2024. The energy for this week ahead is sweeping change. That is the message that I was getting very, very strongly with the Death card coming out. Change, transformation, endings, beginnings, death, rebirth. So it's a big week, okay? It's a big week of closing out cycles. It's a big week of beginning anew. There's this energy around July that feels like a renewal. It's like the second part of the year, but it's also like a new season has begun. And I know we're in summer. We, officially started summer, June 20th, June 21st. We're in Cancer season. But there's this new sort of exciting energy that's coming in for July that's really going to shift things in a positive way. Even if you're going through sweeping changes and you can't kind of see the road ahead of you, know that all change is going to lead to something better starting this week. The astrology for this week is pretty good. We have a Neptune retrograde on July 2nd, which kind of brings in illumination. Neptune is the planet of illusions. It's very watery, but sometimes it can be very deceptive. And so when it goes retrograde, it's kind of like a sobering energy that really identifies and puts a spotlight on the things that aren't on solid ground, aren't in reality, aren't for our best and highest good. It can highlight these areas of our life that need to kind of change. And that could be the energy of sweeping change too, is that you finally see something as it is, not as you want it to be. And because of that, you decide to make a major shift. You decide to make a major change. That is kind of the energy of this week. Equally, we have Mercury going into Leo on July 2nd as well, which is also a really good energy around communication and open communication. For those who, you've been waiting on news, you've been hoping for communication in some area of your life, after the second, you could, things could really, really move forward in a very positive way for you. Because Mercury in Leo, wants to communicate, wants to express itself. The sun is Leo energy. It wants to be seen. And so there could be a big energy around revelation this week as well, is something that I was being told. And that revelation can help to bring in endings and positive new beginnings. Equally, we have new moon in Cancer on the 5th, so next Friday, which, it's chariot energy, it's the sun energy, it's moving forward, it's healing, it's renewal. This could be a beautiful time of strengthening the bonds of love and a relationship, because Cancer is all about the family, it's all about the heart space, it's your emotional space. And so this is a really good week too to focus on the renewal of your emotional body. What would bring you happiness? What would bring you enlightenment? What would bring you peace? What would bring you joy? What would bring you bliss? This is a good week to move towards those things, because you will be fully supported by the universe. A couple of the things that Spirit wanted me to talk about with the sweeping change. Often when things are fated, we don't really have control here of the spiritual realms at this level. Our souls have contracted certain things to happen for us, certain events to take place, certain people to come in, certain people to leave. And so when we go through these periods of sweeping change, it can be very, very scary. It can be very anxiety inducing. It can be very terrifying. Some of you may be feeling this now, you feel like there's a big change on the horizon, but you can't quite see the forest for the trees and you can't quite see what's coming. If you just surrender right now, surrender fully, throw your hands up to the universe and say, I surrender, God. I know that you are bringing me to a safe harbor. I know that you are protecting me. I know that all the change right now in my life is leading to something better. You will see that and experience that something better this week. Equally with this week, with surrender, goes hand in hand with acceptance. It's like the serenity prayer. I accept the things I cannot change. I change the things that I can, and I have the wisdom to know the difference. This is a week that's going to be very illuminating for you as far as, like, again, seeing the truth of things, seeing things as they truly are, not as you want to see them. Seeing where, there's shifts and transformations that need to take place, but for your highest good and to put you in your highest timeline, and seeing where the new beginnings and the new energy is propelling you forward toward something very positive and happy for you. There's a lot of energy of victory and success this week, but it comes with acceptance. And so I'll give you a quick story time. I had a situation this past week where I was kind of like upset about something, and I kept pulling cards, and literally different decks were pulling up the same cards. It was the same message. And sometimes when we're highly intuitive, or sometimes when we're, really wanting something to be a certain way, we'll kind of hope that we can shift the energy a little bit. And you can always have a higher outcome. But some things, again, are fated to change. They're fated to end. They're not built to last. They're not for our highest good. And we really have to release them. And I've been getting the message to release this thing, and I've been resistant about it. And then the moment that there was a moment earlier this week when I woke up like super early in the morning, and I felt a lot of sadness and grief over the change that's taking place. And then I said, okay, I accept everything that's happening, and I know this is for my highest good. The moment I said that to myself, everything shifted. It was that moment of acceptance, just accepting what is. I don't have to like it. I don't have to, I don't have to enjoy it. I'm not, minimizing my experience in any way, but coming to that place of acceptance, seeing it as it truly is, gave me this incredible peace, because that's the moment that I stopped resisting what is or what's going to take place, and just allowed myself to be in that space of surrender. So acceptance and surrender this week could go hand in hand, of needing to accept and see what is, needing to know that your power in this moment is that you get to choose. You may not get to choose the exact experience, but you get to choose your reaction to something. You get to choose how you're going to show up in the moment. You get to choose if you're going to stay and work, put the work into something, or if you're going to walk away from something. And I'm taking that alarm as confirmation, because that's the energy this week of like the alarms, the signs, the synchronicities. Everything in your environment is going to show you where that sweeping change is going to come or where it needs to come in your life. And again, you have the choice to surrender to it, to accept it, to know that even through change, you could be led to something that's even better. I'll give you another story. At church this morning, it wasn't the regular pastor. The regular pastor was sick, and there was a man who came in to talk about, really just listening to God and listening to the messages that were given and taking action on them. And he told a story of, he was dating someone, and the relationship was going great. He really liked this person. It was new, but he really was seeing a future. And he kept getting a message from God that he needed to let this person go. This wasn't his person, and he was kind of upset, and he resisted, he said, for like 2 months. And then when he finally broke things off, literally within that week, he met the woman that he's married to now, and they've been married for like 20 years. And so that's kind of the energy of this week, is like, if you can let go of the thing that Spirit showing you needs to be moved out, the thing that's actually meant for you to have is going to show up. It's time for you to receive everything that is putting you on your highest timeline and moving you towards your highest good. But nature abhors a vacuum. And so if you're holding on to something that's decaying, that's reached its expiration date, you're resisting what is and not allowing what can be. So beautiful, beautiful energy for this week. But again, change is hard. Like, we as humans, especially, like, we get into the ego of it. You know, we want to control things and we want things to be the way that we want them. And that's just not how life works. So if you can go with the flow of the energy this week, acceptance, surrender, and just know that the sweeping changes that take place are for your highest good, even if they put you in a space where you're very uncomfortable and very uncertain, all will be truly well. And as I said, that 11/11, and so we're gonna get into the tarot. I got a new deck for my birthday, Ethereal Visions. I love this deck. Super excited to play with it. And so let's tap into the energy. Bottom of the deck, the sun. Things are gonna be illuminated this week. With Mercury going into Leo too, it is this energy of illumination, of clarity, of knowing what direction to go, of knowing how you can be set up and poised for your highest good and your highest success. As I'm saying that, we got the Ace of Pentacles. There is abundance. Your birthright is to be abundant, and there are new beginnings coming in terms of abundance, of creativity, of love, of joy, of all the things that you need to sustain you for your highest good at this time. All right. Higher self, Holy Spirit, guides, guardians, and angels of unconditional love. What messages do you want to bring through for this week of June 30th? Death. I mean, you can't make it up. Like, the energy of sweeping change is so strong. There is something that's completing, but through the completion of whatever's changing or ending in your life, it's transforming into something new. There is huge rebirth coming on the other side of this, okay? Don't fear the reaper is what I'm being told to tell you, because there's the full, like, literally death and rebirth, the end and the beginning. They coincide with one another. They're like twins. They're like two, you know, they're like the different sides of the same coin. And so as one door closes, another one opens. Allow for sweeping change. Just like the story I just told you of the pastor, the visiting pastor at church this morning. He let go of the person that he really liked, but it wasn't the one, and then met his soulmate, who he calls his soulmate, his wife of like 20 years, literally within the next week. That's the energy right now. If you can let go of the thing that's not working, if you can let go of the thing that's troubling you, if you can let go of the thing that's stressing you out, you're going to come into renewal. You're going to come into rebirth. You're going to come into new beginnings. The other message that I'm getting to share is, and this was said at church, you know that it's of God because it gives you peace and because it's blessed and surrounded in love. So if you're trying to make a decision, what's the decision that gives you the most peace? That's when you know that it's of God, okay? Everything else is of the ego. We have Two of Wands, looking to the future. This also could be, you know, two people coming together. There's this energy of collaboration and union that's very strong right now as well, especially because in Cancer season, it opens up the heartstrings. And so don't be afraid to let go of what was to receive the new, because there is this new opportunity that abounds that's coming in for you. For each and every one of us, it's going to look a little bit different. It's going to be a little bit different, but something very positive that's going to be something that helps to create the future that you want. There's the sun again. I love it. I love it coming through. Positivity, success, happiness, illumination, awakening. You know, This is a week where the tides are turning, and it's like confusion ends and clarity begins. And so it's a really big, important week. Hanged Man, you're being asked to shift your perspective, because our perspective is our reality. And so if you're looking at the glass half empty, that's going to be your reality, lack. But if you're looking at the glass half full, you're actually seeing the potential of everything that's growing and moving, and that's going to be your reality. We have the Six of Pentacles coming out, balance. There's that energy of balance too, and abundance. There could be some gifts, some unexpected money that comes in. Just know that everything you need for your highest good and to reach your highest timeline and highest destiny will be provided for you here and now. Nine of Swords. Don't fear change. Don't fear anything that is taking place right now that puts you in that unsettled spot, because you have to trust that the divine has your back in all ways. This is a time to really get out of your mind with the Five of Swords and the Nine of Swords kind of coming out together. Get out of your mind, get out of your thoughts, get into your heart space. Anchor in that energy of love, anchor in that energy of light. Choose what brings you the most peace, because we got the Strength card coming out. You are strong and you are going to get through this, all right? We're not given anything that we can't handle, and trust me, like, I know many of us have been dealing with a lot for a long, long time, but all it's doing is strengthening us, empowering us. And the most strength and power that you have is connecting to the divine and knowing that you are a divine being, you are God incarnate, and there is no thing that God cannot do, all right? With that, we have Four of Swords, rest, reflect. Allow yourself to rest and reflect. For some of you, meditation is going to bring the clarity and answers that you need this week, and the healing. Because again, there is this energy with the Seven of Swords that could be kind of tricky, where it's like, you know, you may need to be stealthy in your moves. You may need to hide your hand, keep your cards close to your chest, not speak about your future plans to make sure that nothing gets sabotaged. Anything else coming through for this week? Eight of Wands. There's that movement though, and communication. That's the communication that could be coming in after the second, because of Mercury moving into Leo. Like, again, and seeing the truth and finding out the truth, and that illumination that brings in stability and abundance. And I love this card because it's actually like, it's the World, but in this deck it's Arise. So this is that level up, the completion of the cycle, moving into your highest timeline, moving into where you are meant to be. It's a big week and big energy. A lot of cards came out, and there's temperance too, balance, healing, alchemy. Like, you're ready for the next step. And sometimes that's why there's sweeping change, is because like, you're keeping yourself stuck, you're playing it too small, and Spirit needs you to know like how strong and how powerful you are, that you're ready for this next big phase in your life. All right, so yeah, that's what's coming through. I absolutely love this deck. This is literally one of my favorite decks, and I'm so glad that I have it now. So very happy. With that, we're going to end with the Oracle of the Seven Energies, Colette, Reid. Spirit, for all of us going through the sweeping change in the collective, in the world, what final messages do you want to bring through for this week for the highest of good? All right. Great and full. Just stay in that grateful energy. You know, gratitude is wealth. And so when you're in that space, you're just attracting and magnetizing more to come to you. Be grateful for all of it. Even the things that seem like challenges, know that they're in your environment to teach you. Know that anybody who is sort of an adversary in your life is just a teacher for you, and it's rising you and leveling you up. Broken open. Again, sometimes we go through challenging experiences because we're meant to grow and expand. And so if you feel like life is breaking you open right now, just know that a broken heart is truly an open heart. And when you can open your heart, you let the light in. You let the light in. You let the healing in. You let the love in. You let the experience of God and the divine in. Okay? So number 4, number 28, endless possibilities, number 38. So we're progressing, all right? As we are healing, as we are growing, we step into the infinite potential of endless possibilities, of anything and everything. That's where this journey is taking you. It is rising you to the level of knowing that love is limitless, that God is endless and infinite, and that everything is possible for you now. Bottom of the deck, a grand symphony. All the things in life work together for your highest good. And as I'm saying that, there's a beautiful yellow butterfly that just flew by. So just look at your life as a grand symphony, as a grand piece of art. Build upon the past and become the highest version of yourself. That is our mission. That is why we're here. And then we're meant to share and express that with everybody else. And so sending you a lot of love this week, sending you a lot of support and encouragement this week. But just know, like, as you are grateful, everything's going to shift. All the things that have caused you pain and hurt and heartache are going to turn into endless possibilities. Trust and believe in that. Love you. Take care.